Are you looking for hot pro tips for Arizona whole life insurance? Well, let's get started. So, first things you need to know about Arizona whole life insurance is that you can get this kind of a policy anywhere from age 1 all the way to 85. Now, if you're past the age of 85 but under the age of 90, don't fret. You can always reach out to us. There are still some options. But for 99.9% of cases, we're looking at 1 to 85. Now we do quite a bit of specialization for senior burial insurance, but for the sake of this video, we're going to focus on just run-of-the-mill Arizona whole life insurance. So most people that are getting Arizona whole life insurance, they're wanting a policy that's going to never expire. They're wanting a policy that's probably, it's going to build up a cash value. All whole life policies, they do that. That's not something I'm going to focus on because it's really not a sales pitch for that kind of a policy. It's not that much of an asset to have a accrued cash value. What happens is if you take that money out, it's going to negatively impact your loved ones. So I usually don't even mention it to clients unless they ask about it. Now, with whole life insurance, it's easier to qualify for it. So if we were talking about something like term life insurance, then I would warn you, hey, it can be difficult to get approved for this. There are a lot of declines. But with whole life insurance, approval rates are very strong. And within the state of Arizona, we have quite a track record of matching people up with the right whole life policy to not only get approval, but to get the lowest price possible. Now, whole life insurance, there are tons of perks, there are tons of pros. The declines, though, I always like to focus on those because people always wonder what's bad about it, that kind of thing. Now, a whole life insurance policy, they're going to be smaller coverage amounts. They're not going to be typically not going to be 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 or more. You can certainly get those. We have access to companies that go up to over 5 million. But whole life costs a lot more than term. However, for most people past the age of 60, whole life is the way that you really need to go. And so if you're looking at a $20,000 whole life policy, which for most people is plenty, it's going to be a lot more affordable for obvious reasons than going with, let's say, a $200,000 or even $150,000, $100,000 term. And again, that whole life, it's never going to expire. It's never going to change in price. It locks in your health. It locks in the price until death, whenever that occurs. Whether death is, the day of approval and first payment, or whether death is going to be in 50 years or 100 years, there's no end point. Now, these whole life policies, they do mature, and maturing means that you've paid in full, and either the life insurance company can just send you the money, or they'll just hang on to everything and they'll send it to your loved ones upon your death. And that's kind of safeguarding that money and making sure that it comes when it's needed to your loved ones. Term life insurance policies don't do that. So they're never going to be paid in full. And most term policies, you don't get any money back at the end of the term. You just have to get reinsured. So it's another big advantage of these whole life policies is that they go until death. They never run out. They never change on you. It's a wonderful policy. It truly is. So as long as, most of these whole life policies, they go up to 40,000 in coverage. As long as that is sufficient, then great. That's perfect. That's exactly the kind of policy you need. If you need a little bit more coverage than that, there are some options. There are some tweaks, things that can be done. Ask your agent about that. But one thing I will say is that there's an accidental rider you can add onto these policies. It doubles the payout upon any death. It's not a medical problem. So best example I can give you is car accidents, because last I checked, it was the third leading cause of death. Accidental deaths are the third leading cause of death in the United States. So anything within that category is going to double the payout. So instead of, let's say, a $20,000 policy, it would be $40,000 payout if you add that accidental rider. And that's a very inexpensive rider. So it's a great way to squeeze more juice out of that policy. If you're looking for more than 40,000, if you're in exquisite health, I mean, one prescription medicine or less, and it's a minor one, it's just a little blood pressure med or something like that, a thyroid med or something really minor, then let us know. Let us know you are in exceptional health one or less prescription medicine, any medical diagnoses you have, because we do have access to programs that give amazing pricing with larger coverage whole life policies. But you have to be in better than the top 1 percentile in terms of health. So I hope this has been helpful. There are a lot more pro tips. Be happy to share. It's best to do this one-on-one. Just give us a call. Feel free to schedule an appointment with us. Call us directly. We'll be happy to help you with whatever you need. So this is Chad with Protect with Insurance. Signing out. Take care.